Crystal Maiden is one of the most popular supports in the current meta. Nowadays, it's really popular to dual lane, so it's critical to perform well. Thanks to her powerful aura, CM's presence on the map strengthens her allies, and the longer the game lasts, the more impactful her passive becomes. Besides, the Frosty damsel is great at jungling, and she can get her items faster than any other position 5. Besides, she's capable of dealing quite a bit of damage in a fight with the help of her ult. Moreover, she's got 2 disables. In other words, she's a universal soldier. One may not even know how efficient a support can be, especially